What is up, guys? It is Kyle here with Gnarly Knives. I know it's been a little while, but glad to be back. I've missed you guys. And if you are new to the channel, I invite you to please subscribe, check out some of the other videos on here, whatever. Might find something you like. But today we're going to take a look at this new knife that I just picked up. Well, it's new for me. It's actually still fairly new. It's been out a little over a year or so. That's the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight. So this knife I was actually really excited about when I first heard about it. But it's funny, I don't really order much stuff online. I do sometimes, but most of the time I just go and get knives down at my local Army Navy store, and so I'm kind of at the mercy of what they get, but they always have really good stuff. There's not always, exactly what it is I'm, looking for, but so I ended up going and getting this one online. But this here I got off Amazon. The prices, they've been kind of fluctuating a bit. When this first came out, it was going for 90, 91. When I bought it a little over a week ago, it was 98, and I just checked like 2 minutes ago before hitting record, and it's going for 96 right now today. So you'll be looking in that $90 to $100 range. And like I said, just gonna be a first impression. So just gonna be kind of talking about the knife, what I've kind of noticed about it so far, likes, dislikes. And then another probably couple months do a full review on it. But this is actually, it's a pretty cool knife. It's different. I don't have the regular Para 3, but it's funny, now I do want to get a regular Para 3. You guys know, of course, channel favorite, at least with me, is the Paramilitary 2. So much so I got 2 of them, and I would like to get many more. But this here, we'll just run the specs real quick. So we're coming at 7.3 inches. So it's like 7 3/8 roughly. Just under a 3-inch blade, and you have right around a 2.5-inch cutting edge, just over 2.5 inches. And like I said, this is the lightweight, so this is about 2.5 ounces, which brings it about a half ounce lighter than the regular Para 3, which is 3 ounces. And it also does have a different blade steel, which I thought was kind of cool. And you guys know I love adding new steels to the collection. Sometimes more so than just knives. It's like the steels for me as well. But this is CTS BD1N, which is actually, it's a kind of a cool steel. I've been kind of using it a bit, of course, sharpened it. But I have CTS BD1, and I also have CTS BDZ1. And they're all a little different from each other. They're all carpenter steels, CTS. But this one so far, I think actually might be my favorite of them, just steel-wise. Because this, if you look at, which I highly recommend if you guys are not familiar with Pete over at Cedric and Ada, he does all different reviews and awesome videos, but one of his main, thing he's famous for is his steel cutting test videos. And he has a video where he compares Spyderco's VG10, the CTS BD1N, and the S30V. And it was cool because his testing the BD1N actually came very close to the cutting potential of S30V, which I thought was really interesting. For S30V being, one of the premium, super steel, and, BD1N just being a standard steel. But it was pretty cool. It did considerably better than VG10, and it was, within, I don't know, just make 15%, whatever, 20% less of what S30V was. So it was pretty much just, nipping at the heels of S30V. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then, the N on this is, for nitrogen. They throw a little bit of nitrogen in it. And it's a cool steel. From what I've noticed, I think this was kind of used, this steel, I think, was originally used a lot in like higher-end kitchen knives. I remember this past Christmas I was looking at getting some, a nice set of kitchen knives for my parents, and a lot of them had the CTS BD1N, and I thought that was pretty cool because I was like, well, I know that steel from somewhere, and it was from this. And so I thought that is pretty cool. It takes that edge very well, but, I guess enough with the steel for now. Finish talking about the knife. But no, it's a cool knife. It definitely has that Paramilitary 2 look to it. It's just the baby brother, if you will, or the baby brother on a diet. This does have the FRN handle, so it's very similar to your Manix 2 lightweight, or your Delica, your Endura, the Stretch 2, that Spyderco does with their FRN, the fiberglass reinforced nylon. For anybody who isn't sure or wasn't aware what that stood for, but it is a comfortable knife. I mean, one thing I have noticed is it's kind of contoured a little more compared to the Para 2 and even the Para 3, because I've handled Para 3s. I just don't own one, but I've looked at them a bunch at the stores. And, the Para 3, the standard one, is literally just a smaller carbon copy version of the Paramilitary 2. But it does have some rounding on the sides where, like, the handle, on the edges of the handle, instead of being, just a straight, like, point, they kind of round them over. So it's definitely a little smoother in the handle. And it is comfortable. Even though the handle is smaller, when I hold it in my hand, I mean, I do have larger size hands. My pinky kind of right where that little hump is, but it is comfortable, but then you have that choil, so you can just choke right up on it, and that is very comfortable. I'm really starting to like it, even though, it's a smaller knife. I generally, I've noticed the last couple of years I like carrying the larger knives, and I don't know, I've actually really been digging this a lot. It's been a lot of fun to play with, and actually I took it apart just to kind of want to see the inner workings of it, and I noticed too, actually, it doesn't have liners. It has a little piece of metal on this side of the pivot, or actually this side, the opposite side of where the compression lock is. And it just, the metal goes down to about here. It's just kind of held in with the pivot screw. But the rest of it, so pretty much from about here down, is just that FRN. So this, I mean, I wouldn't say this is not a heavy duty knife. I would say it's probably like medium-ish, definitely light duty. Any food stuff would be great. But doing your standard knife stuff, I mean, but saying like, the lighter to medium duty, I mean, I wouldn't really be trying to do any like, prying or anything like that, which, yeah, I know you shouldn't do with knives anyway, but, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So this would be like a knife where if I, probably wasn't gonna be doing too much, or, I just want to have a knife on me, this would be a good way to go. And it's interesting. I noticed too, when I disassembled it, it is on a copper washer, or the bronze washer, but it's just one. On this side, so on the side opposite the pocket clip, so with it set up, so on the left side of the knife, basically, because it comes set up for right hand carry, but it is reversible left or right side. But on the right side of the knife is where it doesn't have that washer. It's just, blade against plastic. And, you can kind of feel it with, I mean, the knife, of course, is still breaking in. It is definitely a little bit better now, having, taken it apart, oiled it, and, I've been fidgeting with it a lot. I've been driving my girl nuts with it. I just keep playing with it. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's as smooth as, the regular Para 3 or the PM2, but it's still definitely smooth, and, you can definitely, has that fidget factor with it, which I enjoy. I think is fun, because just as much as, knives are good as tools to use, to me, they're just, I like just being able to play with them. But I am actually really liking it a lot. And what I thought was kind of cool, too, is they have the their wire clip. And it is set up, as deep carry. So it, I know I've said this with some other knives, but with the wire clip, but it literally just looks like a pen in the pocket. Because when it's in your pocket, all you're seeing is that little tiny hump right above where the clip is. And, it just looks like the top of a pen. Which, I guess for most people it isn't that big of a deal. I mean, if I'm wearing the Contago, if I'm carrying like the Contago, I mean, I get a bunch poking up on me. I don't really care about that. It doesn't, but it's just, I know for some people they prefer that deep carry, or, they want it to be a little more sleek in the pocket. So, just like to mention that for those viewers there. But it's a cool knife. I mean, it's a Spyderco, so it's a good knife. It's funny, I really never thought too much about getting a Para 3, but I definitely wanted the lightweight. But now having the lightweight, I think I definitely want to get a Para 3. I don't know if I'd get the standard one. I mean, I feel like, you can pretty much get the S30 or the 110V1 pretty much anywhere. But I don't know, I might try and get one of the Sprint ones, the Sprint Run ones. But I don't know. I mean, either way, even if it's the S30 or the 110V, it wouldn't bother me at all. And I just keep having fun playing with this. But trying to think anything else. I'm trying to do, where I'm not repeating myself and just rambling on too much anyway. But this knife, I definitely do like it. It just kind of, I don't know, it was funny because, usually when I get a knife, especially if it's Spyderco or something, I'm like already in love with it before I got it. And when I first got this, I wasn't like quite as stoked, I had noticed, versus like some other knives. And I'm not really sure why that was. It wasn't really the size of it. It was just because it was just like, oh, I mean, I know it's like lightweight, of course, but it just kind of felt, I kind of got like, oh, it's just like kind of like flimsy feeling. And I think that's just from that lack of liners. But one thing I've noticed though is it doesn't necessarily need them, especially for what it is. I mean, um, if this was probably a year or so ago, I probably would have been more like disappointed or whatever with it. But because I have some of my Benchmade knives. I mean, a good example being the Benchmade Freak. That's my work knife. It only has a partial liner that goes part way down, and that knife is tough as it's a tough knife. Let's just put it that way. I mean, the things I've put that knife through are things that no knife should do, and it has held up great. And being especially too, it's not like it's a knife built like this and it's got like this massive blade, so you can worry about what you're doing, torque it and snap the handle or anything. But it has definitely grown on me more. I would say I love this knife. I don't think I'm quite in love with it, but maybe by the time we do the full review on it, that might change. But it's just kind of, I don't know. I think it's just kind of just getting used to it more. Because I don't hate the knife at all, and like with any other video. I mean, this is just purely my opinion. Because some of you guys could have this be like, "What? I was in love with it right away." And some of you could have it be like, "Yeah, no, I got it and hated it, so I traded it or sold it or whatever." But no, but this is something I'm definitely gonna keep around. It might be something I might see about trying to get my girl, see if she, wants to have it at some point and she can carry. But it's funny, she's not super nuts with the compression locks. She has trouble with them. I think it's just more because she has longer nails and stuff. So when she goes to do it, her nail kind of gets hung up. I don't think I would try it with this. I had her hold it, and she was like, I don't know. With her, it's just like, it's a knife, But I think it would be good for her. I might even actually get one for my sister. I've been wanting to get her like a good knife. I feel like something like this would probably be good for her. Something you can fit in a purse or, carry her. My girl, a lot of times, she just tucks, because she carries the Benchmade, the mini grip telling, so the regular grip telling. But she carries the mini grip by Benchmade, and most of the time she just tucks it right in her bra. And this knife, I feel like, it's definitely a little bit bigger, but they weigh about the same, so I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But like I said, she's not super nuts with the compression lock, but she does like the axis lock. It's funny. It took her a little bit to get used to it. She didn't like it at first, so I don't know. Maybe if I just have her kind of mess with this a little bit more, she might dig it a bit more. Well, the compression lock anyway. But no, it is a nice knife. I mean, I would like to see if they were to do sprint runs, and I think that would be pretty awesome. I mean, I feel like theoretically, I haven't tried it, but I feel like theoretically, you could just take, for example, if you got the S110V paramilitary or the Para 3, you could just like probably swap the blades right out. But I'm not sure though, because it was funny. I was looking up the specs on because I wanted to find the weight of the regular Para 3, and it said that the blade length it's 3 inches for the Para 3, but the lightweight it's 2.92. So I mean it's minusculely smaller, if depending on how accurate both the listings were. But I just wonder if it is a little smaller, if it's just smaller in the sense of the blade length, like the actual cutting edge, or if it's with the tang portion where it goes into the handle. I don't really know. But if I do get a Para 3, regardless of what kind it is, I will try that theory out, and I'll let you guys know. We can do a short video on it. Or if any of you guys have done that, and you guys have one of these, let me know. 'Cause I think that would be pretty cool. Actually, I thought it'd be kind of cool. Maybe get one of because I really want to get Maximate steel. I'm kind of going back and forth with the different knives I want to use it in, or get it in. Because the Para 3, the Para 2. The Manix 2 you can get in Maximate. The Native you can get in Maximate. So tons of options. But I don't know. I think I might do I might do the Manix 2 though. That's like out of all of them, I feel like that would be like the best suited one, at least for me. I feel like. But I guess it would be a good excuse to get another Parrot too, because that would be pretty cool as well. Yeah, I do love that knife. But I mean, that's pretty much it there. I mean, without, like I said, carrying the video on so much longer. I mean, we're already at 15 minutes, and, I know I have that horrible habit of rambling on and on and on. But, you guys, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Hope you guys are staying safe and everything. And, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, please let me know in the comments. I do my best to always respond as quickly as possible. YouTube, I've noticed I don't always get notified. Sometimes I'll like go to like an older video just to like, just look through or whatever. I'll be like, oh my God, there was a comment there from, a week ago or a month ago, and I feel so bad. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments. And, also too, feel free to look us up, Gnarly Knives on Instagram, spelled the same way. And you guys just, keep carving, stay sharp. Hope you guys dig it. Peace.